Lecture 8: Sound Design, Adding Layers of Audio. In this lecture, we'll focus on sound design specifically, how to layer audio in your videos for a richer and more immersive experience. Just like visuals, sound works in layers. When combined thoughtfully, background music, dialogue, and sound effects can enhance storytelling, create emotional depth, and keep your audience engaged. You will learn how to mix these audio elements using CapCut's tools to support your narrative and improve the overall quality of your edits. Objectives of the lecture. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand the concept of sound design and the role of layering in video editing. Learn how to add multiple audio layers for background music, sound effects, and dialogue. Explore techniques for mixing and balancing different audio elements to enhance your video. Gain hands-on experience in using CapCut's tools to layer and fine-tune your audio. What is sound design? Sound design is the art of manipulating and arranging sound to support the narrative and enhance the emotional impact of a video. It goes beyond just adding background music or dialogue. Sound design involves every element of audio in a video, from ambient sounds to sound effects and even silence. Why sound design matters? Sound helps to create an immersive environment for the viewer, setting the tone, enhancing visuals, and guiding the audience's emotional response to what's happening on screen. The goal is to use audio layers to support the story you're telling. Understanding layers in sound design. In video editing, layering is the process of stacking different audio tracks on separate timelines. By layering multiple audio elements, you can create a fuller sound that supports your visuals. These layers can include dialogue. This is the spoken content in your video, often the most important layer as it drives the story forward. Background music. The musical layer that sets the tone, enhances emotions, and fills the background. Sound effects. These add realism and depth to your video. They can be anything from footsteps to ambient sounds like wind, rain, or traffic. Foley sounds. These are specific recorded sounds created for the video. For example, a door creaking, footsteps, or a glass breaking. Ambient sounds. These are the sounds that exist in the environment, such as birds chirping, a crowd murmuring, or the hum of an air conditioner. Key point. Just like visuals, the goal of sound design is to support the narrative and enhance the viewing experience. Properly layering audio ensures that each element has its space and that nothing clashes. Adding layers in CapCut. Now, let's look at how you can add these layers in CapCut and manage them effectively. Importing and organizing audio tracks. The first step in layering sound is importing your audio elements into CapCut. To ensure that your project remains organized, it's a good idea to place each type of audio, dialogue, music, sound effects on its own layer. How to import audio? Select the audio track you want to import. Drag and drop it onto the timeline where it belongs. For example, background music goes on an audio track below the video track. Sound effects go on their own separate audio track. For example, you just go to audio folder in here and select any of these. For example, background music, you can use this one. Drag it on the timeline in here. But if you want to use the transition sound effect, you can search for audio, and in here you can search for transition sound effect. For example, you could just listen to this one, this one, this one, or this one. You can use any of these, but for example, we just want to go with the simple one like this one. So for example, we just want to go with this transition sound effect, so you can just drag it and drop it on the timeline where transition exists, like in here. So you can just zoom in it so that it fits at the exact time of the transition in here. So when you just play this video like this, or if it is a simple transition, like if you want to delete this one and go for a simple transition like blur one, or you can search for fade like this one, and in here. So when you just play this video like this, although the background sound music is a little louder, so you can just reduce that. Click in here and downgrade this volume and play this video from here in here. So when you just play this video, organizing your audio tracks. Label each track, for example, music, dialogue, or SFX, to avoid confusion as the project progresses. Arrange the tracks so that they align with the video's visual flow, ensuring that each layer is properly synchronized with the video. Why this works? By organizing your audio tracks, you make it easier to adjust the timing, volume, and effects for each layer without affecting others. Mixing and balancing layers. Once your layers are in place, the next step is mixing the audio to ensure that each layer is balanced correctly. The goal is for all the audio elements to work together cohesively, without one overpowering the others. Adjusting volume levels. Use CapCut's volume sliders to adjust the levels of each audio track. Make sure the dialogue is clear and audible over the background music, and that sound effects don't drown out important moments in the video. For example, if you want to increase or decrease the sound effect volume, so you can just click in here, and here is a slider for volume, so you can increase that as well and decrease that as well, as per the requirement. And you can see the change in bar as well. When you just increase that, it just goes up in here, and when you just keep it a little lower, it just goes down. Using fade-ins and fade-outs. Fade-ins and fade-outs can help create smooth transitions between audio layers. For example, you might want the music to gradually fade in at the start of the video and fade out at the end. For example, just go at the beginning of this video, and in here, let's say you want to add fade in at the beginning, so you can just click in here and you can set the timing for the fade in. For example, you just want it for 3 seconds. You can see the change in here. Here you can see, you can just increase that as well. For example, for 5 seconds, and when you just play this video, it gradually increases. But if you want to add fade out, so you can just increase the timing of fade out as well. You can see the change in here as well, like when you fade out for 5 seconds, for example. Here you can see there is a little gap in here which shows that it will gradually fade out. So when you just play this video at the end, in here, from here, it shows that there will be end of the video. Why this works? Smooth volume transitions help avoid harsh cuts or sudden changes in the audio, creating a more polished and professional result. Adjusting audio panning. You can also adjust the stereo panning, left or right balance of your audio to create a more immersive sound environment. For instance, if you want footsteps to sound like they're moving across the screen, you can gradually shift the sound from one side of the stereo field to the other. For that, you can just click in here, or you can search for example, just go to audio and click in here as footsteps and walking. You can select this, for example. So drag this in here, and for example, the person is moving in here. Zoom in for that. As the person is walking, so you want to adjust this as per the walking. So you can just click in here, this part of the video. And now select this one and scroll down a bit in this audio section. Click on fill channel, scroll down, click on this drop down menu, and for example, you have two options: fill right with left or fill left with right. So you can choose any of these. For example, we just want to go with this one as fill right with left. So when you just play this video, so this is how you can adjust audio panning in CapCut. Applying sound effects and foley. Sound effects are an essential part of sound design. These sounds can range from subtle ambient noise to dramatic, attention-grabbing moments. How to add sound effects? CapCut has a built-in library of sound effects, or you can import your own. After importing, drag the sound effect onto its own track in the timeline and adjust the timing to sync it with the video. For example, you search for birds chirping, like this one as well. You can just adjust it in here on another timeline, and you can add it on this specific video. You can just have this part. Okay, so when you play this video from here, so this is how you can add sound effects in CapCut. How to apply foley. Foley sounds are usually recorded separately from the video and can be added to create realism in scenes. For example, if someone is walking in your video, you can add the sound of footsteps at the right time to make it more realistic. Overusing dramatic sound effects can make your video feel chaotic. Instead, use them strategically to highlight key moments or actions.